We now move to the Indo-Pacific, where the Chinese, where in a potential turning point in US-China trade tensions, President Donald Trump is now floating the idea of slashing tariffs on Chinese goods from a staggering 145% down to 80%. Posting on Truth Social, Trump said 80% tariff on China seems right, leaving the final call to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. That message came just hours before top-level US-China talks are set to begin this weekend in Geneva. Let's take a listen to the statement.
You are going to always have a baseline. I mean, there could be an exception at some point. We'll see. You know, somebody does something exceptional for us. That's always possible. But basically, you have a baseline of a minimum of 10%, and some of them will be much higher, 40%, 50%, 60%, as they've been doing to us over the years. We had a wonderful deal yesterday. We have 4 or 5 other deals coming immediately. We have many deals coming down the line, and ultimately we're just signing the rest of them in. But we always have a baseline of 10. You know, I'm very friendly with President Xi. I have great respect for him and for China, but we can't continue to allow them to do what they did. When I was president, they paid hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs and taxes. And then Biden screwed it all up. What he did to this country between the border and between all of the other problems, the wars, everything, what he did to this country should never be forgotten. But one of the things he did is the trade was so bad and so imbalanced. So I think we're going to come back with a fair deal for both China and us.
Have you given Bessent a number of how low you're willing to go?
Yeah, I am.
Are you willing to share that number?
No. 80%. But I put out a number today, 80%, so we'll see how that all works.
Trump's remarks come amid signs the administration is softening its stance. On Thursday, the president struck a trade agreement with the UK, his first since announcing reciprocal tariffs on major trading partners in early April. He added that many more trade deals are in the hopper, with reportedly over 20 close to completion. Still, the White House insists any tariff cuts on China won't be unilateral. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stressed that China must also make concessions. Let's take a listen in to what the White House press secretary had to say.
The president still remains with his position that he is not going to unilaterally bring down tariffs on China. We need to see concessions from them as well. And again, that's part of the reason that Secretary Bessent is going to talk to his Chinese counterparts this weekend to start those discussions in person. As for the 80% number, that was a number the president threw out there, and we'll see what happens this weekend. And always in the effort of transparency, I'm sure you'll hear directly from the Treasury Secretary or the president after those negotiations conclude.
The talks in Geneva will be led by Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, along with Chinese Vice Premier Li Fang. This marks the first official engagement since China slapped 125% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods, effectively triggering a trade standoff. Trump has sent mixed signals throughout the week. On Wednesday, he said that tariffs would stay, but by Thursday, he hinted the 145% rate was, quote-unquote, coming down. Now he's suggesting an 80% rate could be a starting point. And he's not backing off entirely. Trump says a 10% base tariff will remain on all imports, even after future trade deals are made. All eyes are now on Geneva. A deal with the Chinese could ease pressure on global markets and offer relief to American businesses and consumers.